Okay. Audio. Check, check. Yep. In. Oh no. Hang on. Oh no. Oh no 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 no. Oh, I just thought of something. Not now. No. No. Bring up the filters. No, this is gonna be bad. Oh, I literally just thought of this as I started streaming. So, hi everyone. Welcome to the stream. I'm trying to avert a crisis here. Just give me a second. Okay. All right. It's good. All right. It's good. Doesn't look like I'm coming in too quiet. Not too loud either. Although, I think I know the reason for that. Hang on. Yeah, the noise gate's cutting out again. Okay, so, what happened? Yeah, I gotta readjust the noise gate. I knew this was gonna happen. All right. Test. Test. Test, test. Oh, that looks good. Yep. Now. And I think that's it. Yep. Hmm. Yep. Okay. That did it. Crisis averted. All right. So what happened was I had a massive blue screen. I had not an accepted store handle, which means that one of my hard drives might be going bad. So in a panic state, I took the whole computer apart. Hang on a second, asshole's going by. Okay. Um, I had to take the whole computer apart. I cleaned out everything, sprayed it all down. Well, sprayed it all down. Used a can of air on it. To make sure that wasn't causing the problems. I'm not sure if that completely solved them, but I backed up everything just to be sure. And when I did that and unplugged everything, OBS goes funky if you decide to plug stuff into different USB slots. So, yeah, it messed with the noise gates. I don't know why. So, welcome to the stream, where we try to not have crises on a weekly basis. We try to have them on a monthly basis. Topical joke. Okay, we'll stop. So today, we are going to be playing Sigma Star Saga. This was one of my favorite games growing up as a kid on the Game Boy Advance. I adored this game. I 100% completed it, which, if you've ever attempted to do it in the past, most guides online will tell you you're insane because of the amount of steps you do and the amount of grinding you have to do it. Because there's a bunch of weapon data to pick up for your ship, and like there's dozens of it's like almost like it's over like 10,000 different combinations you can do with the weapons or something like that. So yeah, in order to get like perfect completion in the game, you have to pick up all that stuff. You have to new game plus the hell out of the game, and get every single ending. So you pretty much have to play through it like 3 times, in order to do that, because you have an ending. Well, all right, we won't spoil any of that in case anyone wants to play this, because I fondly remember this game, despite all of that. Your reward for doing all that, by the way, is you get a JPEG that says perfect completion. So yeah, there's that. But Sigma Star Saga, I love this game. It's by WayForward. It's by the same people that made the Shantae games and are still making Shantae games. I can hardly even believe it. Pretty much all of them are phenomenal. I'd highly recommend playing them. WayForward has actually been asked many, many times in the past, guys, Sigma Star Saga was great. Any plans to do a remake or re-release or anything like that? And they've constantly said, we would absolutely love to, but it's out of our hands. Bandai Namco, it was originally Namco when this game was released, still has the rights to Sigma Star Saga, and I don't think they've ever done anything with them outside of this one game. So it's baffling that either WayForward couldn't work out something, or, you know, they're just like, hey, we're not doing anything with it, but if you want to do something with it, we'll sell you the rights. I'm oversimplifying that because it's nowhere near that simple, obviously, especially in this industry. Although, I forget what two companies just did it, but it was like in company trading, like a bunch of, like, I think it was like THQ Nordic, or it was some company. They just traded a bunch of game properties around their studios. The best description I saw was literally like baseball cards that they were trading around. It was weird, funky. But yeah. So, a couple funny anecdotes before we get started, because I always have one for every game I play with this. Getting the artwork for the thumbnail was a pain in the ass, and I'll tell you why. There used to be a fan kit you could download from Namco's website for this game. I downloaded it. I backed it up. I have no idea where it went. I have almost all of the characters' portraits from that fan kit. But I was missing one with Wrecker when he was in his parasite suit, in his krill suit. I couldn't find it anywhere. Anywhere. I was frustrated because I had this thing at one point. I looked all over my computer. I couldn't find it. And I back up everything like crazy. I have backups on here from my Windows 98 computer that I have on my external hard drive. That's how insane I am at backing shit up. Because I'm my biggest fear is losing data. So I've got a terabyte and a external 500 gigabyte that just backs everything up. Because I'm terrified of losing shit. I thought I almost lost my RPG Maker project once. I almost died when I saw that, because I was like, oh, that's just going to be 6 years down the toilet. Nah. Almost 10 years now. I'll give updates for that after we play the game. For now, let's get out of our rambly mess, since we've been at this for about 10 minutes now, just doing stuff. By the way, this stream has begun. We can get rid of that. And, yeah, let us start the game. I might have to mess around with the audio settings a little bit. Like I was saying earlier, it messed with some of the noise gate and suppression stuff that I have set up to make sure I don't run into any issues. You know, no odd popping or anything from the mic. Alright. Any day now, OBS. Oh. Hang on a sec. I'm not getting any audio, and the game is not showing up. Why? Why not? You were literally working just before. Oh, it's gonna be one of these streams. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, wouldn't be a hidden gem stream if we didn't run into some kind of problem, despite me testing everything earlier. Yep. All right, you. Where are you getting your sound from? Yep, that's the right spot. Okay, I think I fixed it. Oh God. Yep, let me turn that down. Yep. Turn it down a little more. I forgot GBA games are, like, abhorrently loud. There we go. Okay, and we have video now. Good. Yay, we can play the game. So yeah, this is one I played extensively, and if you've... okay. So if you've ever seen anything for Sigma Star Saga, I guarantee you it's the artwork. I guarantee you it's of one of the main characters, Syme. Her, yeah. I can think of a couple reasons people probably bought this game. No, I picked this up because I loved WayForward's games. Like, I absolutely loved Shantae. I, like, adored that game on the Game Boy Color. I was so happy when they re-released it on the 3DS. All right, hang on, I gotta readjust the audio. There we go. Okay. Everything's not being too loud, too quiet. Nope, hang on. There we go. All right, after about 15 minutes, I think we can start playing the game. Good. All right. So, in kind of a surprise, my roommate actually picked up a Retron 5. I was tempted to pull my save from my actual Game Boy Advance cartridge and put it on my PC, just for backup purposes. Didn't get around to doing that. But, yeah, let's just go ahead and begin. And, of course, the one thing I always have to bring up, anytime I bring up Sigma Star Saga, I have a bunch of people who are always like, so, like, where does your avatar come from? Like, oh, it's just this obscure-ass game nobody heard of. Yeah, normal. Sure hope you can read kind of fast, but Sea Boy for 3 years turned the sea into life into a gumbo. Jeez. Good time to be a map maker. In scorched Earth and worldwide hysteria, the Allied Earth Federation was born. Over the past 50 years, they built up Earth's defense lines and cracked Krill language, come to understand their words, customs, even their technology. When those devils came back for seconds, Earth would be ready. Unfortunately, I wasn't. So, this game is a rather unique beast. Oh, bye, Namco. This game is a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up mixed with world exploration platforming and RPG mechanics. For some reason, I forgot you shoot faster with tabs. Doing horrible at this already. You do not want to die here, by the way, because you have to restart this whole section all over again. It's been a couple years since I've played this. Just go. That's okay. Practically almost everything you shoot in this beginning section means nothing. It's just kind of getting you used to the game itself. The tutorial is literally trial by fire. And in fact, this tutorial is what everyone played at E3. One of the big things you'll see on the box art for this is like, oh, this game got all these like E3 nominations for being like the most impressive handheld game we saw at the show. It's like, yeah. And then people got their hands in the game. They're like, wait, I didn't order a top-down platformer with RPG mechanics when I played this too. This is weird. Now, one thing WayForward nailed with this game was the graphics. It looks great for a Game Boy Advance game. Also the music. WayForward just nails music every time, too. Alright, these ships, doesn't really matter how much you shoot them, they take out your team, no matter what. So, goodbye, guys. This one in the middle matters, though. Oops. Thankfully, getting blown up doesn't do nearly as much damage as actually getting shot. And you might think that's a weird mechanic, just from watching me play this right now. I guarantee you, it's an intentional mechanic that's meant to save your life later on. Hey, you ever watch Independence Day? Yeah. Also, this game might lag a little bit even on this emulator. I tried it on a couple other ones, and some emulators only ran it at like 30. But this game ran at 60 on the Game Boy Advance. This is the best one I found. That'll run the game at 60. And even then it drops sometimes. Sigma Star Saga might have been too advanced for the GBA. Alright, we got our first boss fight. This boss, you can shoot the guns, but that's a distraction. As soon as you take out these eyes... Wow, I am really bad at this. Okay, is my mic picking up the game? It looks like it is. That's gonna annoy me. Give me a second. Alright. There we go. That's better. Alright, we fixed it. Man, let's talk to you straight away. Yeah, the other thing you'll notice with this too is the game sprites are massive when you're doing the adventuring, wandering around. They're so detailed and animated, and the characters' hands are so big. Oh, don't worry. All these don't look too big. Yeah, just wait till later. They get, like, Sora-sized ridiculous, especially the feet. I guess we did okay. Yet this map is invaluable and will in fact save your life later. Next fighter after Sigma Team. Or after you, the record 3000. I never liked too much. Skin boots are in. Suck up. Bam. Yeah, high five. Also, different footstep sounds for different textures. Again, just silly little amounts of detail for a GBA game. Oh, so something I gotta point out. This game actually does have multiple endings, like I said earlier. Knowing how to get one of them is actually kind of imperative. Memorizing this map and where certain things are is actually important later on. The game doesn't actually tell you that. There's a lab up here, and you need to know that this lab is here to get the technical best ending of the game, because there will be something on this table later on that you have to grab. If you walk out or head to the other office before that happens, you get locked out of that ending. The game lets you know once you've beaten the game it's important. I dropped one right over a neighborhood. Serious? Kidding. Alright, let's go check in with Command. And don't worry, you don't walk this slow the whole game. You do get a run button. Actually, a little bit, as a matter of fact. Yes, sir. It's kind of the unfortunate thing with the GBA's color depth, though. They have high-quality versions of all these characters, you know, portraits, but they're literally the lowest quality thing in this whole game. The compression form's just crazy. Gotta work with those bitmaps. Alive and now serve krill. Various lowest capacity is the profit from military training. With krill, their knowledge of Earth and the surrounding planets is invaluable. An opportunity exists I want you to exploit. That is, enlist the krill armada. Become the enemy. Why? So yeah, the concept for this I always kind of liked. Of course, being a kid at the time when I played this, I didn't actually think about it. It's just like, oh yeah, you know, the concept for this is just, you know, Pocahontas, The Last Samurai, you know, Dancing with Wolves. No choice. They have bathrooms. I hope so. Just plan to get me in. It's already begun. No. Yeah. Sorry, Pilot. Had to be a lethal dose. Go out proud, son, like your friends. What an ass. And yeah, he literally brings you to the almost brink of death. Because it takes these aliens almost 3 weeks to get you into a working, livable state again. Ah, it's been a while. As usual, I generally don't like to talk over any of the actual text. I figure everyone who watches these streams is, you know, probably capable of reading it. The thing I hate here is these medics don't have different portraits, so you have to look at the text box to know there's 3 of them and they're all talking to each other. Let him up! It's been expensive to banish you to space. For days and unconscious for nearly 3 weeks after that. State is no rescue. Get it? What? Why? my god! They're ready to skin you. Like a potato? Everything you said sounds bad. Look at that gait on his walk. Well, time to get a parasite. Wow, my mic is picking up every single car going by. Hang on. Clearly, the noise threshold isn't working properly. All right. Yeah, it shouldn't be picking that up at all. Okay. All right. Nope, it's still picking everything up like crazy. All right, what happened? Seriously. Okay, well, I'm done messing with it for now. I will mess with it after the stream. Body armor. Crunch! Well, that's good. And again, game just drops you into it. It's like, yep, well, Trial by fire. Ow. You gotta rush me so I can actually shoot you. My plan. Is it bother you? Not really. And here's where the hands come in. Look at those hands! They're so big when they come forward like that. No, the sprite detail in this game especially just impressed the hell out of me. I constantly had to, like, keep forgetting it was a Game Boy Advance game sometimes, because you get a lot of indie games now that have an art style like this. Ah, yes, and we can run. Oh yeah, now we can choose our weapons. Let's see, so the really cool thing about this game, the thing I absolutely love the most about it, is how much you can customize your guns. So not only do you customize how your gun fires, you also customize the bullet and what that bullet does when it impacts something. You can make some really gross combinations later on. It is insanely fun. Looks like he's got bum tentacles. You're not wrong. The entire suit is a parasite. Also, good to see you, Hyper. Stay out of the combo. I'll be the judge of that. How'd you get here faster than me? Whatever. Come back here. All right, down here we go. Anywhere in the galaxy. Oh, good. Hope they don't trace those calls. You tried to kill me. Krill, no different than a wristwatch. He's not wrong, but he's also not right. Thanks for consulting first. Wrecker's a snide, sarcastic asshole, and at the time I played this game, when I made it my avatar for everything, I too was also a snide, sarcastic asshole. It carried me a lot through life. I guarantee you should do the same too. Just be an asshole to everyone. You get so much done. No, but honestly, I really liked Wrecker as a character when I was a kid. I'll have to see if he still grows on me. All these years later. Alright, I think I can go back up to No, but seriously, don't be a sarcastic snide asshole. I mean, if you want to be, just don't be one all the time. Then everyone just expects you're going to be a snide, sarcastic asshole, and you don't get a lot of good conversation then. I'm the man. Grows on you, yeah. Is that a parasite? Yeah. It might just be. Just call me on sign expectable. Off to the launch pad. It seems that way. Yeah, no more than a wristwatch, man. It only controls our spaceships when we're on it. So my ship gets the sniffles? No, I always liked the concept of the alien race in this game. So the Krill essentially make thousands and thousands of ships and just transmit themselves between them. So if one of their ships blows up, oh no. That's terrible. Well, I'm just going to transport myself to another ship within range and just keep the fight going. Which is why they've slowly but surely taken over Earth. And we're off. Wow, this, like, that whole thing didn't run at 60 frames. Alright, so for the actual gameplay for this, like I said, the opening part is essentially just kind of like a, you know, trial by fire tutorial. But this part essentially teaches you how the real game works. So, you have a target counter in the top right-hand corner. Once you deplete it, the game considers that, well, threat neutralized, keep moving on. The whole time you want to make sure you're picking up all the experience orbs from every enemy you blow up, so that you power up your kill. How do you get into these ship battles, you might ask? Well, while you're walking around on ground floor, the game treats them like random RPG battles. So you're walking around and the ship will suddenly say, "Oh gosh, distress, distress, I'm surrounded by enemies." And the ship will call on a random crow pilot to come rescue it, essentially. I just did a bunch of it. Best battle word in the fleet. She still managed to get taken down by a single human fighter. Huh. Hope that doesn't come to bite me in the ass. Well, time to go meet the alien that murdered my companions. Oh boy. Well, ready to see why that game got the friggin' rating it did? Oh boy, here we go. Very suggestive themes. Good job, Wrecker. Thanks, I guess. So, can you tell this was made by the same people that made Shantae yet? I couldn't tell. What? Oh man, that's like 90s mature. Yeah, and if it came out any earlier, Nintendo would have just been like, no! No, that's as bad as putting religious material in. Get that out of here. Nope, both, Simon and Scarlet were the, I guess, big selling points for this game. Actually drew that conclusion, but I thought it was just because she was a scandal-clad beanpole. Forest area, Crow commands, no longer satisfied with longer scans. I think running a team in the surface will get different results. High command knows, but sing. Something about the planet makes it unique. You have to enter a sequence of inputs to unlock bikini mode. Well, I mean, by default, Sime is bikini mode. Like, all the time, every time. Fine. Check this shit out. Just gonna take a whole base and put it on the planet. Yeah, I already hit it. There, yeah, we're good. Let's go. That explains your random maze. Yay, enjoy being able to move around freely while we can. So if the parasite is touching less her, does that mean she's less infected or more consciously open to its invasions? Well, it's kind of a... The commander... Commander Tyranny basically says they pretty much treat him like wristwatches. Essentially, they're suits of armor. I mean, with the way she wears them, you know, definitely not. But they pretty much act as enhancements, and it's pretty much strength enhancements for someone's body so that they can, you know, run around without exhaustion, stamina buffs increase. But the main primary goal of the parasite is that you can control it. They can control their ships with them. Since the ships are also living things, the parasites communicate with them. So, not infected, because they can actually take the suits off whenever they want, just it's disadvantageous to them to do so, so they practically wear them all the time. Proto Ben 10, yeah, pretty much. Oh god, I forgot. I can't go there yet. There is a power-up you get. Nice. Strength enhancement for the men, asset enhancement for the women. Gotcha, pretty much. So, again, like I said earlier, one of the cool things about this game is the weapon system for your ships. Like I said, not only do you get to choose how the weapon fires, you can also choose... Oh gosh, you can also choose the bullet and what that bullet does when it impacts. It's pretty cool. And like I was saying, you can make some devastatingly BS combos later on. Yeah, WayForward never really shied away from the appeal of their characters. Like, ever, especially if you play something like Shantae. Shantae's entire gimmick on the Game Boy Color, she had amazing animations, you know. Yeah. Oh boy. Suck people into the sky. Here I go. Wait, me too, me too. Just give me this. You know, I keep forgetting the standard ship has the dash. So when you're called up by a ship, you get a random one every single time you go up. So you don't always get the same one, so it varies out evenly. You really want one of the ships that book it, though. Look, RPG mechanics actually tied into the story. Weird. And now, we're on the leash. So this is essentially how... God, good job. So this is how your random battles work in this game. They are space shmups. Every time you get into a random battle. As a fan of both genres, let's say RPGs and shmups, I really liked it as a kid. Getting into battles was a ton of fun, especially when you got to experiment with new weapons, make devastating combos, fly some cool ships. It's pretty neat. Unfortunately, the one thing I would do to fix this game is... You know how a lot of people pick on RPGs where, like, oh, you take a couple steps and you get into another random battle. Ha ha, hee hee, funny, funny. That shit actually happens in this game. It's infuriating sometimes. That one's not handy now. That cannon will be handy later. Oh, jeez, good job. Get down. Or not. Oh, we got the little thing. This is actually good. The larger ship I was flying earlier, it's incredibly touchy. But yeah, if I could fix anything big time, looks like they could go a little bit quicker too. Yeah, so the rate of enemies that you have to kill, really isn't that bad at the beginning of this game. You gotta kill like 15, 20, something like that. It's fine, every time you get into one. The number's actually randomized, so like even sometimes you'll go in and it's like, oh, like, yeah, kill 5 of them. And it's not that bad when the numbers are that small. However, once you start getting to the last 2 levels of the game, sometimes it just decides, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, you need to kill 99 enemies? And every time that happened, I remember groaning, like, it's like, oh, no! But yeah, no, the big thing I would fix is the random battle rate. Oh god, fucking boss already. I was really hoping we would avoid this. No, bosses are actually really good. I'm complaining, but bosses drop a fuck ton of experience and you want it. And that's why you want to kill bosses. Makes me think of Warframe, middle of the spy mission. New objective 10. Oh no. Yeah, I love that. It's like... Oh, when it happens in capture missions, that's the worst. 0384. Oh, I hate it with capture missions when you're doing relic runs in Warframe. Because, like, alright, you're doing the capture mission because you're trying to get this relic as quick as possible. And then just, Lotus just like, oh, hey, kill 99 enemies quick, would you? Thanks. But I stuck through this whole game. Like, despite my grievances with it, I still love the ship combat. Having a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up like this was actually really fun, portably on the GBA. I got so much out of it, because you surprisingly got very few of them on the GBA. I don't know what it was. It's like, this is the perfect system for, like, Raiden and, you know, Gradius games and everything else. It's just like, no. I guess you don't want to play those on, you know, on the go. So this was a treat. I stuck it through the whole time, and when this game ended, I'm like, that's an awesome ending. So, when's the sequel happening? Well, the state that the universe is in by the end of this game really makes you go, oh my god, how the fuck do they cope after this? Pretty neat. Hopefully you had SP. I did. I actually had a Taco GBA for the longest time with one of those stupid screen lights. But I did eventually get an SP. That was given to me by one of my friends, actually. But a lot of the on-foot stuff in this game is kind of minor. Most of the on-foot sections in this game is you running around looking for gun data, completing objectives, solving, like, simple puzzles. Oh, yeah. That's what we want. But also, this was just kind of a drop-dead gorgeous game for the GBA. Like, there's a lot of stuff I played on the GBA that, you know, was really good looking. Like Minish Cap, absolutely phenomenally beautiful for the system. Golden Sun, like, looked incredible. Even now, I think, like, you upscale it a little bit, Golden Sun still looks fantastic. But this, the sprite work, the animations, the amount of detail and everything just blew me away. Ah, we got the big fucker with a boss fight. So, this really isn't one of the best ships that you want for this. This is why you don't want this. The animations are real nice and all the feel claustrophobic. The size are yeah, the sprites are freaking huge. Like, you didn't really get anything like that in the GBA. And that's how they focused all the detail into everything. They just kind of increased the sprite work. And it works for this kind of game. But if it wasn't anything else, because, like, the on-foot sections in this, like I said, it's really simple. Puzzle solving, looking for gun data, getting health back for your ship, finding bombs for it. Speaking of, I forget that's a thing. Next time I pause, I hit that. Yeah, the big shit for this battle sucks. Plus, I'm not level 2. Because this would be doing a fuck ton of damage. But yeah, the sprite work's friggin' massive in this. And in any other game, it would be really distracting, but in this one I kind of like it. And it looks larger than life when you're playing it on a portable, you know, Game Boy Advance screen. I do agree with it feeling claustrophobic, though, because just, it's, like, the sprite work's just massive. Oh, God. That's a save point. Save points are literal lifesavers in this, because if you die, no matter where it is, you go back to your last save. And they heal you every time. Oh, hey, is this the shitty cave? One of these was the shitty cave. When I was going for 100% completion on this when I was a kid, I was missing one, and I repeat, one gun data. And I had no idea where it was. I couldn't find it anywhere. I think I might have been this cave. And I didn't have a guide. Because you gotta think, you know, this game came out 2004, 2005. I mean, the internet was prevalent, but not, you know, not a daily part of our lives like it is today. so I couldn't just casually hop on the internet and look up a walkthrough or anything like that. There was a Brady guide for this, though, that I was tempted to pick up and never did. Yeah, it wasn't that cave, though. Ah, yes, the free move. This one's really handy for one of the impacts you get later on. Essentially, any direction you're pointing at, you fire. Very good, but you can't really use it effectively. Ah, gave us the big thing again. There is a huge ship you can get. It's actually one of the ones we blew up at the beginning of the game. That you can fly around in. And that thing's fun because if it blows up, you can actually spawn out as another ship that's in its carrier. And that thing's awesome. It incentivizes you for actually blowing up the ship. Now we're cooking. Yeah. Yeah, I would love to see Way Forward get the rights to the series again. I would love to see them get the rights for this franchise. And do a follow-up sequel or a remake, and improve on all the little negatives that I've always had with it. Too frequent of battles was always the big one for me. The game does expect some amount of grinding, which I think is the reason you run into so many battles. Being able to customize your weapons on the fly would be really fun. Especially since there's some situations you get into later on where you don't know it. But, oh, this is the ship! Yeah, okay, so this is the one I was talking about where, like, it's actually advantageous to blow this one up. Because it spawns the smaller ship when you do. But, yeah, there we go. But, I'd fix that. I would fix the backtracking. This game has a impressive amount of backtracking when you get to the end. So you explore all these really nice-looking areas and locales, kind of trying to solve this mystery for the high-up Krill Command, where they're just like, yeah, we don't know what the fuck's going on with these planets, so, you guys got to investigate. Of course, turns out later that some of them know, but not all of them do. It's just silliness. But, 49! Okay, we're gonna level up here. Yeah, that's the second thing I'd fix. Is, the rate of enemies. I wouldn't make it a requirement to kill enemies. I'd pretty much have it so, like, there'd be a small set amount, but you could keep going if you wanted to. Ah, there is an item you get later on in this game, though, that does let you skip battles. Unfortunately, it was kind of, like, unintended that was its use, because you use it to solve puzzles. Or, like, it's kind of like Metroidvania. It lets you, like, cross gaps in the game. But it's an item that lets you fly while you're walking around the map. And if you want to skip battles, you can just equip it and move around. Unfortunately, it makes you slow as shit. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Although this one, I was about to say, although the steer shot is kind of cool, because it, you know how a lot of like some shmups when you're playing them, you kind of like inherently push yourself forward. Well, when you're pushing yourself forward with that one, it gets stronger. I forget where all the gun. It's been so long since I played this. Right, don't give me 49 again. Oh, it's a boss. Okay. Oh, this thing. Now open your eyes again. Oh, wow, I forgot. Yep, okay. A chunk out of my health. I think if you stick to the middle of the screen, it stops them and gives you a chance to shoot it. Nope, he goes all the way. Ah, you know, I keep forgetting I have the B weapon, and I could just use that instead. Because you can just drop bombs on his head when it does that. Nope, not doing it that time. Oh, will this one level up? I think they only actually give about 80-ish. No, you want to run into the bosses right at the beginning of this game, though, because it is how you level up. Jeez, I don't know. Maybe you do. Like you're supposed to know that, being a human. Hard dividends. Just gonna plop down a save point whenever you want. This is just something I can randomly do. Unfortunately, you don't get that luxury later on. Save points get pretty scarce by the end. Strangely scarce, since they're very, very, like... I was about to say, I'm surprised I haven't gotten hit yet, and then it hit me. Yeah, when the game branches off from the actual random battle shmup parts, and you're doing actual shmup stuff, it is a lot of fun. I don't have the charge beam yet. Also, remember what I said about the game kind of expecting you to do a little bit of grinding? Yeah, it's the reason why I'm not blowing these guys up in like 1 or 2 hits. so far. Ow, jeez. Yeah. Welcome to the not level 5 yet club. Yeah, leveling up in this game is actually, like, you might not think it just because it's a shmup, but it is really important. It gets especially important later on in the game. No, best advice I could give to you if you ever decide to play this game is if it's a choice between you and getting shot by an enemy. If it's a choice between you running into an enemy and getting shot by an enemy, it is almost always better to run into them. Because you get invincibility frames from the respawn. Getting shot by an enemy only gives you a split second of invulnerability. The reason I did that was so I wouldn't miss all the XP. Having fun yet? Great! Because it's boss time. Oh, I didn't set up the other gun to be bombs. Oh no, the other gun's completely forgotten. No, the other gun is whatever the default is for that shit. Oh, there we go. And the second. But so those little explosions are supposed to be playing like all the time with that. It's also supposed to be making digging noises, so I'm gonna have to blame that on the emulator. I guarantee you they do not cut out on the actual GBA. But yeah, the actual shmup sections that you get almost at the end of every level are well worth playing this game for, because not only are they very challenging, but they're a lot of fun. Alright, and we got our first tool for solving puzzles. Nope, the sprite work in this game still blows me away, even years later. Like I was saying earlier, you get, you know, you have a bunch of like indie games and everything, that have adapted to do an artwork like this. And just seeing it on a GBA is pretty cool. Like, every time I was playing something like Owlboy, I was thinking of games like Sigma Star Saga. By the way, Owlboy is freaking phenomenal, and if you haven't played it, you should pick it up. I think I bought that game like 3 freaking times. I got a digital copy of it the longest time ago. Back when the indie box was still a thing, they were selling physical PC copies that were DRM-free, which were really nice. And then the company D-Pad Studio started doing collector's editions for the Switch and PS4, and, well, I had to pick one of those up since I love the pieces. Lots of Owlboy. No, it's this boss again. Well, at least we have this ship. This fast-as-fuck ship. I'm dopey! What's the alt on this? No, okay, good. Well, this battle shouldn't take as long since we've leveled up a couple times since the last fight. Come on, do the thing. Why aren't you doing the thing? Now you do. Yeah, that's the difference a couple levels makes in this game. Other thing I always really liked about this too was, oh, you would give me this battle again with this huge ass fucking thing. Yeah, the other thing I'd really fix with this game too is for some reason, they thought it was a good idea that you could only use, either your gun or whatever tools you had on you, while you're wandering around. Kinda silly that you can't use the scanning tool and your gun at the same time. So, yeah, I'd fix that. Also, the story and the characters are really good in this. The story is almost kind of bog standard. Like, it starts out like it's just gonna be like a generic, you know, freaking alien game, and then like as the plot progresses, it starts feeling more and more like, oh, we're just doing the friggin' Avatar Pocahontas route, where it's just like this guy signs up with a mission to, you know, get something from this, you know, alien/indigenous life, you know, slash, you know, people we don't understand, and then starts growing to like them. This does that, but it also has a twist on it, too, that's actually good. And a lot of hilarious hijinks ensue. Both of the main characters are sarcastic as hell, and they start butting heads with that. And it's funny seeing two snide, sarcastic assholes try to go at it with each other. Because in a lot of games, you always have that, oh, well, there's just that one, you know, asshole of the group. But, seeing two of them play off each other, oh gosh, it's 46 again, is always funny because they both kind of start realizing the fact that, hey, well, us being assholes to each other really isn't getting us anywhere, is it? Like, yeah, probably not. Plus, there's just really silly, stupid nonsense in this that plays into all sorts of dumb anime tropes that are hilarious. So the aliens that the parasites that they have on them are somewhat intelligent. Again, Tyranny saying that like wristwatches is true, but also wrong. So there's a section where the two main characters, Wrecker and Saga, get locked up in a box later, and they can't move out of it, and they're pretty much just kind of discussing everything they went through, and Saga decides it's a good idea to start flirting with him when he's in there, and he's just like, yeah, you know, whatever. And she kisses him on the cheek, and he's still kind of like, yeah, you know, whatever. And then all of a sudden, like, later on in the game, she faints. And the game's like, what's going on? And all the aliens are like, oh god, what did you two do? And he's just like, nothing, like, at all, I swear to god. And they're like, well, you must have done something or she wouldn't be fainting like this. You're gonna need to take her to, I think it's like a clean source of water or some nonsense like that. And they don't tell Ian the entire time what's going on, being extremely vague, being an asshole to him. So Ian has all sorts of things going through his head, and his thought conclusion is, oh god. So I know nothing about these aliens, like, at all. At freaking all. Did her kissing me make her pregnant? And I'm sitting here laughing my ass off the whole time, just like, fucking what? And it's just like, are you dense? Are you stupid? But no, he's taking this shit, like, completely seriously. He's like, oh god. But it gets to the point where, like, he brings her to that, like, clean source of water. And he's just like, oh boy, here it comes. And she grows wings. That's all it does. It's just an evolutionary stage of her parasite. It just means it's evolving. And it's just because something evokes strong emotions in her or some nonsense like that. So, of course, he tells her what he thought, and she's laughing her ass off. She's like, no, you idiot, you dumb idiot. Why would you think that? Are you 3 years old? And I'm just like, yeah, actually, he might be. No, that was one of the standout moments, just because I was laughing my ass off the entire time in this. And essentially, if it's an enemy in the corner like that. Wow, okay. But, yeah, no, then she takes the wings off and gives them to you. And she's like, yeah, here, these things are completely worthless to me. Maybe you'll find a use for them or something. And, indeed, if you do, remember how I was saying earlier that there's an item you can use for puzzles that, lets you skip doing random battles. That's it. You spread the wings out of your back and just fly around. You're supposed to use it to cross small gaps, but its primary use for everyone I knew that played this game was, yeah, you use it when you get sick of doing battles. What this game could definitely benefit from more than anything else, though, is, faster animations for everything would kind of be the big one for me. So, like, transitions for battles and things like that. You get in and out of it a lot quicker. I think that would really mitigate a lot of the, like, feelings people have for, like, kind of grind. So I'm surprised you don't have a ship where you're flying. You mean like when you're... you mean for like doing the on-foot sections? That's where you can just kind of fly where you want? Well, that's a yes and a no. Because, again, the ships in this are kind of sentient creatures. So they can only really be controlled when someone is in them. And they don't really... As I was saying, the ships themselves, they use them for reconnaissance around the planets on the outside. For patrolling. The game has an excuse for it. I guarantee you the game has an excuse for why you can't just do that. Later on, you can pick different points to land so that you're not walking across all the maps. And once again, we get an annoying ship. Thankfully, we're of a high enough level where that shit's not mattering much anymore. We're supposed to leveling up. Isn't there another series of spokes over here? Let's just go back. Look around. There's another set of spikes from the gun data that I'm gonna go real quick. Plus, we're so close to leveling up. I mean, we might as well. Yeah, your reward for exploration in this game, primarily, is just getting more gun data. And it's what you want, because you can get certain combinations that just... It trivializes certain shmup sections. You can literally get a gun data that fires in all directions, that has a bullet that pierces through enemies, and then for the impact, you can make it so that every time it hits something, it explodes and does more damage. This needs the bomb, doesn't it? Yeah, that needs the bomb. And that's just kind of the sit back and hold down A approach for a lot of the combat sections later on. Unless you run into boss fights, because most of the boss fights in this are unique and have their own patterns and solutions for beating them. Actually, the final boss of the game, depending on where you shoot it, it affects the ending. Because it determines if you disable the ship or if you actually blow it up, killing the person inside. Again, it's something that makes sense, like, while you're playing it on a playthrough, but you're just kind of casually hearing about it. You don't think. It's just like, oh, well, you know, I should shoot here instead. Well, we'll come back there later anyways. That's what I do. Stay in one piece and embarrass people. Yeah, the saves being spread out, like, further on in this game also just doesn't do it any favors. Because, once again, this is a portable game. So when you're getting to the end and it's just like, alright, you know, I'm doing it. And of course, if you're playing it on a taco, you know, you've got some Duracell or Energizer batteries in there. And it starts going red, and you're like, oh, shit. I gotta get to a save point. The second to last level especially is really egregious with that. Thank you, sir. Mine. Yes, sir. Capitalized. GBA the Dark Commander. Ah, yes, Mr. Ian Wrecker. I'll go down to hell to take out these aliens, sir. Wait, you're sacrificing a bunch of humans already to get this shit? Nope, maybe the aliens aren't so bad. Fuck them, they're only trying to take over our planet. She just... I think she's just at the entrance. Yep. Yeah, the game says that. It's like, shouldn't I power up my parasite before we leave? And, I mean, he's not wrong, actually. It's not a bad idea to go back and grind. I think level 5. Yeah, level 5. Well, the next planet's gonna give us more XP, so yeah, might as well go. Level 5 will be fine for now. Kind of upset at the emulator not having that play at 60 frames. Because it speeds up and makes it look like it's like going backwards. It's a cool effect.
Sir.
Earthman. Yeah, the simulator's pretty wonky with the frame rate. Because this was another impressive thing for a GBA game. Well, not really for a GBA game. A lot of GBA games ran really smooth at 60 frames. But the amount of detail on this, and it running as smoothly as it does, was just really impressive. It doesn't quite seem business appropriate. Or even business casual. Nope, that's just extreme casual. Nope, that's way forward casual, I'd say. Beyond casual. Tyrannical Overlord. The Tyrannical Overlord. Oh, we just no, we just call him that. It's just his name. Something about being behind a boring office desk like that makes it more of a question. Thanks. Just missed.
Sir. Sir.
What were you counting? No, what were you counting? Going up bad. No, could you imagine wearing a suit like that and just trying to sit in something? Anything? I couldn't. There we go. I remember thinking something to do.
Sir.
Yeah, X-Can. That one gets pretty good for the explosive situation later, too, in the game. No, what we need is the, we really need the double shot for the cannon type. I forget where it is. Oh yeah, and then there's gun data all the way over here. Again, you can't actually get that until, you get those wings near the end of the game. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff like that in this. Like I said, when I did the 100% completion for this, there was a lot of gun data that I just ran the hell around looking for.
Sir. Sir. Sir.
Well, that was easy. Cleaning! 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 Okay, we're done cleaning. Wait. Yellow.
Sir.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's where I'm supposed to go. There's another room. But I'm pretty sure that was the one. Unless there's someone else I'm supposed to talk to. I have to get signed first. Nope. Nope. There we go. Cleaning! completely by the book, even her attire. Contingency plans. There. How do I go to the other room? It's either that or I walk back. Yeah, I think, that panel there. I forget if that's something related to the story later, or if it's, something you blow up with a bomb to get somewhere. Been a while since I played this.
Sir!
Alright, so yeah, we just gotta go back to the entrance. What's the holdup? Well, unlike other games, they rely on you to push the buttons instead of, you know, every other game where the AI has to open the door for you. Got it. I'll go look for him, and you guys sit here and do nothing. Does have gun data in it? Goodbye. Why are they sitting on pillars? And why do you blow up the pillars, too? I don't know, it's a big guy. I swear that alien sound is, like, familiar, and I can't place it. I don't want to say that it's... I was about to say, it's definitely not, like, a head crab sound. But it just sounds familiar. Oh, we haven't picked up a new impact in some time. Yeah. Strength of both shots? I don't think so. Holy cow, that thing will die. Yeah, I think I might need to just stick with the front guns. Oh my, come on. Well, a couple of those enemies were giving like 200 XP, so maybe I'm just not supposed to be blowing them up yet. Yeah, that's a lot of XP. Pretty sure. Not that's for a power up you get later on. Oh, okay. Way to start that one. Yeah, we gotta switch that. Oh, just blow up. Well, not like that. Yeah, the other thing I'd change with this game too is the gun data itself. Because while you get your own setup for the guns, the alternative cannon is always whatever the cannon is for that ship. And that actually gets kind of annoying later on. Because you get a bunch of ships where it doesn't... like, the guns on them suck. Like, they will always pale in comparison to the weapons that you can make with your gun data. Time to play balls! Oh god! I forgot the fire kills you. Well, here we are. Remember what I said about saving? Yeah. I completely forgot that fire up there just incinerates you immediately. Thankfully, the people at Way Forward knew that cutscenes actually annoy people when they're trying to get shit done, and if you die. So unlike the original Kingdom Hearts, you can just skip that shit. Yeah, whoops. Yeah, big whoops. Because, oh boy, oh god, do I love unskippable cutscenes. No, thankfully the people at Way Forward acknowledge that. So we're really not that set back that far. At least by comparison of other games that came out around this time. Again, someone at Way Forward cared. Ah, jeez. Yeah, that was, Of course, the spawn animation would be just long enough for that fireball to hit me. Yeah, thanks, game. Amazing. Well, let's go back and get the gun data at least. Ah, life. Life. No. No. Everyone's being real stingy. Right. And we won't go back down, because there's nothing else down there right now. Not re-equip that one. Yeah, there's a gun data on the left there, but I can't actually get it until I can open up that path through the rock. Alright. I forgot how fast the ship was. I was about to say, okay, how about we don't run into the fire this time? And then I did. Thankfully, leveling up always heals you. Shot. And I'm still doing shit damage. We really have to get an impact data. Like, really need it. Because the standard one with them just blowing up is doing nothing for us right now. You can actually get an impact data, I'm pretty sure. There is an impact data where every time you kill an enemy, it heals you, which is really nice. Definitely handy for certain boss fights later on when they spawn little guys. Bombs! Bombs! Smart bombs save your life in this game. Not running back and forth between a couple of different enemies and just grabbing bombs from them is a game changer by the end of this. It is how you start grinding. The other thing I'll say I really like about this too is, again, the soundtrack. The soundtrack's really good for a Game Boy Advance game. Every planet has its own theme. Every character has their own music cue and everything. It's pretty neat for a GBA game. Those ones are going to get a lot of XP. Now, what we really need is there's a charge beam later on in the game that just devastates everything. Leveled up again. And every level, like I said earlier, really matters in this. Just one level up makes you go from, wow, these things are taking a lot of damage, to, oh, that's not so bad. And then you level up again, and it's just like, fucking cake. Alright, let's not fly directly into the fire this time. Alright, are we strong enough to blow up this, well, didn't take as long. Now, here comes a real funny thing with this game, though. There are, I think the devs said there's 15,000 different combinations of gun data in this game. And they kind of mean it. There are a lot of different varied shots and fires and impact and everything else you can do in this. Depending on the gun data you switch to. And there's some really unique setups you can have. Unfortunately, one of them's actually bugged. And the devs didn't catch it during playtesting. So what will happen is, remember how I said there's that one... You could sometimes run into a battle later on in the game where it's like, oh yeah, blow up 99 of these guys. And it's like, oh, jeez. If you have a certain weapon data equipped, there is a chance that that 99 battle doesn't actually end. Because one of the gun datas doesn't actually count one of those enemies as dead. Yay. Thank God. Oh, battles are about to get a lot better. So you're just stuck in an endless battle. And the best part about it is the entire area is filled with ghosts. Or they're just like plasmoid alien things. So it's especially hilarious. Oh yeah, I gotta get this shit here. That's right. Drop bombs. Faster when we got down here. I'm not just going to the left. Yeah, I would absolutely love to play more games like this with the mechanics more ironed out. I've seen a couple of like roguelike games that kind of handle this pretty well, but not quite to the same degree that Sigma Star Saga does. One that comes to mind is Star Mazer DSP, which is a fantastic game. I highly recommend checking that out. Very good indie. Most everyone remembers it for the controversy that happened, but it's a good game. And the controversy wasn't against the devs, it was against one of the composers just being a complete idiot. But that game is a roguelike that kind of functions like this, but the points and everything that you get while you're playing are spent flying better ships, or more well-equipped ships. I would love having a game like this with an actual like full-on RPG mechanic. Where you can make choices on your ship development and everything else. A game that does that comes to mind is Tyrion 2000, which is another phenomenal game and is completely open source now. Has been for a while. You can if it exists, much like Doom, someone's probably ported Tyrion to it. What we get? Oh, yeah! It's go time. It's Doomsday. Yeah, that's the thing that really got me excited to keep playing this game more. Every time you got new gun data, you were like, oh, that's cool. How does this work with this? And you wanted to experiment with it. So I never minded getting into the random battles because there was always something fun to try out. That's what got me to continue playing this game. I even going back, yeah, though it's a top, yeah, Tyrion's a top-down, yeah. About to say, but the RPG mechanics and everything were still there, and I really enjoyed it. Oh, and Raptor, Call of the Shadows had that too, where you got to use money to buy better weapons and shield upgrades for your ship. Oh, I love Raptor. Oh, we should play that on a stream too. I played the shareware version of Raptor so much as a kid. That had the whole, like, first sector. And, me and my friend, when we got the shareware, there was an actual shareware disc of it that we bought at a dollar store. And that was, like, our favorite game. We thought that was a full game. Like, that one sector. Just because there was so much stuff to do, and you could pretty much, like, buy almost everything in the shop. What about that one, the SNES, something Squadron? I think I know what game you're talking about. I think. I've never played it, though. But I have heard of it. I don't remember the name. But, yeah, I'd kill for, like, a merging of genres like this again. That's because I really fell in love with this game as a kid. I just wanted a fun shmup on the GBA, and I got it with this. And I got a silly story with fun characters. And again, an ending that just kind of UN Squadron. Yep, that was it. And I was genuinely surprised at a lot of the stuff in this, because there weren't a lot of people talking about it when it came out. But I was like, that sounds interesting. I want to pick that up. And I blasted through this whole freaking game. And I went on to beat it 3 more times. I enjoyed it so much. Like, I can still go back and play this game. Like, I'm half tempted to take out my SP and take it with me while I'm at work. Because, unfortunately, it finally happened. My right Joy-Con died. And of course, I'm like, oh, well, you know, the Switch is 3 years old. This was bound to happen. I'm surprised it lasted this long. See, it's so many people who talked about, you know, Joy-Con drift and all that nonsense happening. God, those fireballs are just coming in on me. And I wasn't surprised when it happened because I felt it going. Just like some of the buttons weren't responding properly and things like that. But, yeah, so I went online to look for a replacement. I'm like, all right, you know, replacement Joy-Cons are what? They're like, it's like $80, $90, if I recall correctly. I'd say not the worst, but, you know, I've admittedly held off on it way too long. It's time to get new ones. So, did you know there's a pandemic going on right now, and people really, really, really want Switch things during the pandemic. So did you know you can't find Joy-Cons anywhere? They are sold out at every single store. And the only way to, like, effectively get one is you have to buy it from a scalper. And scalpers are charging $120 for controllers. That's my limit right there. It's like, I could buy 2 games for that. I am not paying $120 so that I can play my Switch again. No way. Oh yeah, remember I said the map's gonna save your life? Yeah, this is why. Yeah, my sister and 2 of my friends have just been trying to get... Yeah, before this all happened, I was saving up money because I was trying to get a V2 model. You know, for the better battery life. And I had the money all saved up, I was good to go, and then, well, the pandemic started happening. And, my local GameStop called me up, because the employees that I have at my GameStop, I'm pretty much friends with most of them now. Actually, one of them just lives across the road from where I live. And... you know, she called me up that one day, and she's like, hey, by the way, we got those Switches in. And I'm like, you know, I would pick it up, but I'm gonna need that money for, you know, everything else right now. There's a pandemic going on. I'm gonna need to buy groceries and, you know, essential supplies, all that. So I had to put it aside. And I also had to have a good talk with them because I'm like, why are you still there? Because this was right when our state was shutting everyone down. Because, you know, any non-essential businesses were doing, and GameStop was holding out the entire time. It's like, why? Why are they doing this to their employees? So yeah, not even 2 days later after I had that conversation with them, they shut down that GameStop. But, yeah, so I had money saved up to get a V2, and then, like, as soon as that happened, and I had the money saved up again, because we never stopped working where I live. They considered us essential. I was like, all right, yeah, you know, I have some of the money saved up now. I could probably get one. Good old Essential video game stores. Yeah, yes, freaking Essential is a tar bath right now. But, Essential is smoking. But, I was like, yeah, you know, I'll see about getting one now. I've got some money saved up. Gotta get my Funko Pops. Half, I shit you not, half of our GameStop is just Funko Pops. It's awful. Like, I go in there, it's like, alright, let's look at the Switch stuff, and, just gotta dodge behind these 800 Funko Pops first. But so by the time I went to go order one online, because I had money saved up, they were all gone. So, yeah. Thankfully, I didn't post it on Twitter, but I did find some alternative controllers. They're not official Joy-Cons, but they had really good reviews. Everyone said they're great, fantastic replacements. They have NFC in them, and they're shaped like GameCube controllers. That just struck every single chord with me right then and there. I was like, oh, wow, I need that. And they were $50. It's like, oh, well, hell yeah. Like, one guy, like, there was one negative review for them. Just one. And that negative review was, the colors were a little lighter than the ones they showed on the box. I'm not picky about that kind of stuff. If it works, I'll buy pink Joy-Cons. I don't care. They work, right? I am not picky. But they had really good reviews. So they're probably not going to be here till next week. But yeah, I have to keep resorting to playing Animal Crossing on the TV. Oh gosh, I leveled up as soon as we ended it. Oh yeah, I saw those. Yeah, I saw them, and I was just like, I kinda need these. And they essentially do everything except for, like, the HD Rumble. They've even got, like, motion access controls in them for the price. And it's like, that's impressive. So, yeah, I'll have to give my opinions on them when I get them in the future. See how a couple of level ups in this game make all the difference in the world? I was struggling to blow those up even once, and now it's cakewalk time. Now we're just playing a shmup. Oh gosh, is it already 9 o'clock? Holy cow! Alright, might be having a little more fun with this game than I thought I was. I didn't think I was playing it for 2 hours. Huh. Alright, came from there. We got that. Got the weapon data in there. So yeah, we're just going down. I am going to have to find a save. And to wrap the streams. Actually, I'd play this for a little bit longer, but like I was saying earlier, if they ever do actually have to pull us out of work for whatever reason, I will set up a longer stream. And what I'll do then, I think, is I'll set up a series of games to play instead. Or maybe we'll do some, like, playthroughs of a longer game. I think doing a variety of games would be more fun, though. Keep the stream interesting and fresh. I wouldn't just be talking about one game for a couple hours. Although I do try to steer towards games I really enjoy playing and would recommend other people playing also. Oh, so, I'll talk a little bit about this when we start wrapping the game up. But I am going to have the ability, very shortly, to play older console games and run them through my capture card. I got an AV to HD box. So that I'll be able to capture everything with the capture card so we can play some GameCube and Dreamcast games. I'm really looking forward to that. I've got some ideas for some games to play already. A lot of really good ideas. Games I've wanted to recommend to people forever, but, you know, they're on the Dreamcast and the GameCube. Some of those games are rare as hell now. One of them especially is a mega cult classic. I picked the game up for $10. A couple one-offs, then a longer full playthrough and something fun. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I like that idea. Let's back up. Yeah. Okay. But I remember picking that game up for $10. I was like, this is kind of a silly-looking game. But now it has a cult classic following, and copies of it go for like $80. There we go. All right. Yeah. Card flip 6 minutes. This isn't a terribly long game either for a GBA game. I think my first playthrough of it clocked in at around 10, 12 hours. And again, there's good incentive for doing a New Game Plus. Not only, if I remember correctly, again, it's been a while. Not only do you keep your levels, you keep all of your weapon abilities too. You pretty much do New Game Plus to see the other endings. But being able to bring everything over is a godsend, especially when you're trying to just 100% it. But yeah, this was well, there's a lot of problems with it. There's definitely a lot of problems with this game. I'll leave it right then and there. I even had problems with them when I originally played it. But I'll switch over to the stream quick. I'll demo that for now. But I remember having a lot of fun with it when I was a kid. I was about to say, and it's still fun. Like, it's still fun. Again, it's a really good shmup. For the GBA first and foremost. Like I said, especially when you get to the end section levels and they're their own, you know, unique areas, those are a blast to play. They're the right amount of challenge. It feels like a fun, arcadey, side-scrolling shoot-'em-up in those sections every time. Really good fun. And again, the story and the characters kind of keep you going because they get really interesting. Again, characters like Wrecker and Syme, they're both arrogant a-holes. But they're both being arrogant a-holes to each other later on. And it's just kind of this fun dichotomy where you have these two characters kind of realizing, hey, so it's kind of stupid that we keep being a-holes back and forth because just, you know, obviously we're never going to get along like this. Like, yeah, you're right. It is kind of dumb. And they get better as characters. I was like, oh, thank God. Because if Wrecker was like that the entire game, I might have to strangle him. But he turns into a dork later, and that's where like his characterization just gets really funny because you have this character who's, you know, really self-arrogant, crack shot pilot, everything else. just kind of being snide and sarcastic to everyone. And he starts opening up, and when he opens up, he just becomes a dork. And it's like lovable dork status. Just like, oh, that's cute. Kind of the same thing that happens with oh crap. I've played Grandia 2 so many times, and I can't remember the main character's name right now. It starts with an R. Crap. Why can't I remember? I'm having a memory fart right now. I've played Grandia 2 so many freaking times. I could tell you all the other characters' names. I'm annoyed. Anyways, yeah, he starts out the game as an extreme sarcastic asshole, but it's part of his job profession because nobody trusts him, so he's just kind of like that to everyone. And of course, that leads to some of the best one-liners in that whole game, with him doing stuff like that. One of my favorites is he's discussing one of the characters, like, why do they keep saying purify? But I don't see them going around saying that they're going to bathe each other. And one of the characters says, they mean killing everyone. I've seen them clear out entire towns before. And he responds with, that's some strong bubble bath. I don't know, I always liked that line when I was a kid. But, yeah. So, anyways. Sigma Star Saga still holds up. At least it holds up for a handheld game. As a, like, playing it just, like, on a regular screen basis, it's a good handheld game. But I wouldn't say it makes a good, like, compelling, like, full-priced game or anything like that. God, no. No, this is the kind of thing you'd pick up on, like, Steam nowadays for, like, $15. I was about saying, have a good time with it. But parts of it still impress me. Again, the graphics, the soundtrack for a GBA game, they're still good. They're still really good. I'm tempted to go back and just play through it again on breaks at work. But yeah, so yeah, I said I was going to talk about this a little bit at the end. So yeah, I have a AVDHD box that came in. So we're going to play a bunch of Dreamcast and GameCube games. And that'll be the plan for next week. I'm going to do another vote. I don't think we're going to do Avalon Code because the entire time I ran the poll, not a single person voted on Avalon Code, which was a little sad because Avalon Code is a great game at the beginning. Avalon Code is one of the best concepts I've ever seen for a game, and unfortunately having too many mechanics starts running it into the ground by the end. But I still liked it to the end of the game. That's another one I'd recommend. I would say I'd recommend it if you can get it for cheap, but Avalon Code also kind of got cult classic-y for the DS, and is now very hard to get. Not as hard as some games, but it still goes for like $60-$70. Kind of like, oh, shit! I should have put Infinite Space up, too. Too many games, and not enough days to stream them. So yeah, next week, I'm going to run a poll. I'm going to do some Dreamcast and GameCube games. I might do some 64 games, too. Now that I have a proper way to stream them. Also, for other consoles like NES, SNES games, anything like that, my roommate picked up a Retron 5. So now I can play all of these games on that. That also does Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance games, too. We probably also could have played this game on that, but I already had the emulator set up. So that'll be the plan for next week. And I'm going to have some fun titles lined up for the poll. So again, polls on Monday, as is the usual case. What else? There was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, crap, that's right. Endless Chaos update. This is completely on me. So Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, and it devoured my life. I took that whole week to play that game and platinum it. I didn't get a single thing done on the game that whole time. And I'm going to admit that's me being a lazy asshole and playing a game. But work's been stressful, and I just kind of needed to play something like that. But I only held it off for that week. I've been making steady progress. There's only 2 things I need to finish right now before I have everyone beta test it. There's a secret room I'm finishing up, and then I'm re-implementing the point system back in for the contest, re-implementing it for the contest, not just for the game itself. So that will be that'll be all set up for when I run the beta. That should be it's going to be a week or two. I was really hoping to have it out this first week, but I got caught up on doing one of the secret rooms. I did something massive. I didn't quite realize how much work it was going to be until I implemented it, and then I just stared at it for like 3 days and went, fuck, I need to change this all now. Even with RPG Maker, which is the easiest game dev tool I've ever used, I was about to say, it's still the easiest one to get into game development with. There's a lot of intricacies that you have to deal with when developing a game to try to work. The biggest problem you run into with RPG Maker when you're trying to get something done, is you having to work around the engine. Every time I update the game, I make a bug list of things I fixed and things people have told me about. And I actually like seeing that and seeing all the stuff I fixed. But there's some things you just can't fix because they're limitations of the engine. So yeah, that's kind of, I got hung up on that. But I found a workaround. I found a way to still implement it, and it still kind of looks cool. I like what I did with the secret area. So yeah, so that contest will be a week or two from now. If I run the contest, I'm going to put up a separate video, but I will talk about it on the stream that day or later on that week, or, in the week, whenever I get it ready. And the contest for that's still going to hold. I still have a massive, I got to check the list now. It is a huge list of games. Shit, I still haven't counted them all. But this is essentially a bunch of Steam games I have held on to. No shit, I want to open text files with Notepad Windows 10. You think I want to open it with freaking DOSBox? Anyways. Yeah, holy cow. There has to be at least 70 games in here. And you're going to get your pick of what you want. And once again, I'm not giving out, like, crap prizes or anything like that. You're going to get extremely good games. I've got freaking, I've got all the Deponia games. I've got Hitman 2016, Hitman 2, Okami HD's in here, Psychonauts, the Ultimate Edition for Payday 2's in here, Shadow of War, Middle-earth, The Last Remnant, which you can't buy anymore, by the way, and I'm going to be giving a key out for that so that someone can have it. A crap ton of Star Wars games, all the Dark Forces, every game in the Dark Forces series. Yeah, I've just got a crap ton of games to give away in this. Bad Rats. Oh, I would never grace someone with that. But if they want it, it might be in this list. Yeah, I've got a fantastic set of games in here. That I can't wait to give away because I've been holding onto these keys forever. I have also got, let's see, what else do I got? I've got Bastion. I've got a couple other super giant games in here too. Original BioShock, Spec Ops: The Line. Yeah, Spec Ops: The Line's in here. Yeah, just a bunch of stuff, and then a lot of other like indie games like Punch Club. Both the Lucius games, Jalopy. Jalopy's a lot of fun. Super Brothers, as about that one's kind of old, but still a good game. But yeah, like, I'm not giving away shit. I was about to say, we're giving away good games. Good games everyone can play. I've got the Steam version of Mass Effect 2 in here. Okay. All right, but yeah, that's enough of that. So, yeah, it'll be free pick of that litter for the winners of the contest. Should be a week or two from now. I'm really, really hoping it is. I just have to finish up some dialogue bits for the secret areas, and then it's essentially wrapped up because the mempoint implementation is really not going to be hard. I had it before. It's essentially almost a switch I have to re-enable and then add it into areas that it hasn't been in yet. That's it. That's literally it. Oh, and there's going to be a cheat mode in the game. I might explain how to enable it to people later on in the future. But it's a secret to get into the cheat mode, and I wouldn't rely on it. This game essentially started out as a troll game, and it might continue that route. Lots of big plans for it, though. But I need everyone's help beta testing. I need to make sure every last bug is squashed completely, utterly. It's been 10 years now. And yeah, that's where Endless Chaos is right now. And the I'll have it download on the website when it's ready. The last log will be on there too. So yeah, that's the Endless Chaos plans. Next thing is the the playthrough for Fear 3 that me and the Solid Opinion did. I almost lost the footage, and I was scrambling to get it back. That's why the second part hasn't been up in a while. When I was recleaning my computer, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I thought I lost some data, because it was just gone. But again, thankfully, I back everything up like a madman, so I didn't lose it. But it's because it's not technically the same file. The video editor I was using was being fussy with it, so yeah. I'm hoping to have part 2 out next week. I'm probably going to work on it over this weekend since I've got nothing else coming up. So yeah, that is current plans. That's current update. I might do another channel update video to kind of explain all this. Just because not too many people will stay to the end of a live stream to hear all of it. But those are current plans. And yeah, I'm really excited. So next week, we've got some fun Dreamcast GameCube games planned out. I'm really excited to play some of them again. Now that I have a proper setup so I can stream them, I'm really happy about that. And yeah, I was about to say big plans, big awesome plans. Again, as I always say, I'm so happy to be doing this again. I just first starting out, I had no idea what I was doing, and I'm much more comfortable now than ever. Actually, getting back into work, doing YouTube stuff. I'm really happy about all this. I look forward to this every Thursday. So yeah, that'll do it for now. We're gonna wrap up the stream. There we go. And we're done. Thanks to everyone who came around as usual, and thanks again, Hyper. I always love having you here. And hang on. YouTube's complaining. What are you complaining about? Oh, that's right, nothing. All right, we're ending the stream here. Thanks everyone. Have a fantastic